Hello! Welcome to Bad at Board Games.
He's bad at board games.
I'm Brad Lake.
I'm Topher Ferguson.
And we're bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today, we're going to go over our top 10 co-op games. I don't know if it's all time, but it's definitely our top 10 co-op games as of right now. We had a suggestion from one of you subscribers. I don't want to call out your name because some people get a little weird about that stuff, but I really appreciate the people that are giving us ideas, and we want to pull those on. We also got another one where it's our top 10 games we're the worst at. So bad at board games, worst games. I have a lot of those. The list is so long, you don't have any idea. So picking 10 will be really tough for that list. But today we're talking about co-ops. It's going to be fun. And we're going to start off. I get to go first, and you're going to be the big kahuna number one. Toph likes a lot of co-op games.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to highlight him as the last number one, see what happens.
Because clearly my games are better. No, whoever did make this suggestion, I am so glad, because honestly, I love co-op games. Like, they are some of my absolute favorite games to bring to the table. So this is a fun one. So
it'll be all good. It'll be all good. You ready for my first number one?
I am
or
ready.
10?
Well, I am ready for your number 10. However, I'm going to break the rules. You know me so well. Because I love co-op games so much, I couldn't narrow it down to only 10. And you'll see why here in a little bit. So I have an honorable mention, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. So
we always break the rules.
Of course we do. We're bad at board games, which is bad at rules. So this would be honorable mention. I won't call it number 11, but I will call it honorable mention. And it is Dead of Winter. Have you played this yet?
I have not. This is one I want to play.
Good, because I like this game. Dead of Winter, if you're not familiar with it, it is a co-op, but there is a trader mechanic that's in it.
I like that already.
However, you don't know who that trader is, and there may not be a trader in it until end of game when everybody kind of reveals their strategy. So, fun game. I played a lot of this when Walking Dead was big, and then I haven't played a whole lot of it since then, but it is a pretty fun game. So, Dead of Winter is my honorable mention. So now we can start our top 10 lists.
Finally. God,
yes.
You took up, 30 seconds of that?
That was, I know, so long. So, Brad, take it away.
It's so disappointing.
Welcome to my life. You're not the first to tell me that. That's why I'm an introvert and I play board games.
You're my best friend. Just stop. Be nice to yourself. All right. My number 10 actually is very new to me, and it kind of ended up being one of these games where it's like, prove me wrong, and I'm going to try to bring those up every time I get, because I think part of this gaming industry kind of thing is there's a lot of games out there where like, no, I'm not interested in that, right? I don't like the theme, I don't like whatever. So this was one of mine. So, and we just played this with our game group as other people are bringing their games to the group. This one's called The Crew.
Interesting that made your list already.
Yeah, I liked it. We sat there and laughed as we failed over and over and over again. There was 5 of us playing The Crew, and my experience with trick-taking games is if it's not 2 through ace and spades, hearts, the standard card games, they just have not done well with the gaming groups I've been in. So I kind of just get biased. It's like, well, it's a card game, it's a trick-taking game. Nah, but we sat there and we all laughed, and it's the group you're with. It will always be the group you're with.
Yeah.
But it was a hit for our group, and I can say that's my number 10 right now. I will happily play that again.
I had to look because I put that on my list.
Yeah.
But it was number 19. So it was not in the top 10.
A lot more co-op games over here. I'm a lot more on the take that side.
Brad said, do you think you can come up with a list of 10? And I had a list of 32. So yes, there was 10 that I could have. So The Crew, I support that. It was fun. We
had a
enjoyed
good time. It was, will it be my number 10 next year? I have no idea, but it's, as of today,
it's on there.
I like
it. I support it.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 10 is a game that actually made it in my top 40. It is a game that I actually prefer, I think, to play solo. However, it plays very well as a co-op, and I've played it with you. I've
Okay.
also played it with my other gaming groups. We've actually had 4 or 5 people trying to play at one time. 4 people trying to play at one time, and that is in my favorite universe of all gaming's, Cthulhu Mythos, and that is Elder Sign.
Yeah, this is the game where if you want to feel like you're banging your head up against a brick wall, this is great.
We've had a few games like that recently.
True. Well, balls. Head,
Yeah,
something.
kick you when you're down. Go watch Barrage. By the way, if you
Evidently, the music's too loud. You can't hear us, but please go watch Barrage.
yes, welcome to the headache. Trying to listen to us. Elder Sign is a fun game that is a dice roller. So as opposed to kind of the rest of the Arkham files that I have game wise, this is going to be the one that's a little bit more luck driven than a lot of the other ones, but it's still fun. It plays fast. Also has a really good app for your phone. But there's something about having cards all over the table, chucking dice, and probably losing. So that is my number 10.
It was fun. I got introduced to this through the app, and like I said, it just really feels like you're banging your head up against the wall. But it was fun, right? And that just goes into the whole aspect of it's nice to sit down with somebody and play games together. So
Yeah. Even if you die
a lot
terribly together.
All right, my number 9. And I like this game. I know I don't think a lot of people do. But,
Yeah, I'm surprised. I see what you're grabbing. At least I think that's what it is.
But I like it. So this is Cuphead. Now, there's a reason I like this because my kids like this, and they're in the high teenager years, right? So they enjoyed it. They played the video game. You sit there and you play. I like filler games, and this is that genre. You can pull this out. We played 4. I think we can play 5 people with this. I can't remember when we played last time, but it was fun. And you're just sitting there, you're rolling for 20 seconds, and people get all, like anxiety over that. But that's the fun part about it. Is like just trying to oh crap, I got to roll a lot of dice, and did you do it? And not, and we had a good time. This is one of the first videos I made. Does this get pulled out all the time? No. But for a co-op sitting around, everybody having fun, and just kind of see how many dice you can roll and how fast you can get it done, I recommend it.
I think it's a fun game.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but for the few of you who it is for, you'll probably like it.
If you like real-time games, or if you've never played a real-time game, that's probably a good introduction to it, as opposed to trying to sit down and play more of a board game that's going to take you an hour to play and then get stuck with real-time mechanics. So.
Yeah, you stop and it's got boxes that you open. So I like. There's definitely something I like. He likes worker placement. I like those boxes that you keep opening to get a little bit further. I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's like a little present every time inside the inside the big box.
Oh, bubblegum.
So anyway. There might be another game that has boxes that you open in my list too.
There's one that's in my list too. So here we go. My number 9. Continuing with the horror theme, as you can tell, I like death and horror.
Is that what that smell is?
Yes, that would be that smell. This is another game that actually has a trader mentality or trader mechanic in it. There will be a haunt, and you might have a trader, you might not. But Betrayal at House on the Hill. Fun game. It's fun to see the board open itself up as you play. So the board itself is going to be different every time you play. The scenarios are going to be different every time you play. I would say just about every single time I've played this, we've had just fun, laughing and almost dying, sometimes terribly dying, getting sucked into a void or something. But this is a really fun game, and so it's a good one to play kind of together. I think this is a good intro to the cooperative gaming. So
very cool.
Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Nice. Good game.
I think so.
I expect to see a lot of Cthulhu on that side of the board.
There may be. There's no Cthulhu in this one.
Oh,
there
I
are
thought that
ghosts,
was.
but no.
Oh,
No.
okay. For some reason I always associated that with Cthulhu. I didn't.
No, it's still a horror. Have you never played it?
It's been a while.
Okay.
Like I was married a while.
Okay, so
years
it's been a while.
and years and years ago.
That was before I knew you. Yeah, so no, this is not going to be part of the Lovecraft kind of
Got it.
Cthulhu mythos.
Probably because it was green and everything else.
yeah.
It was just kind of like stuck in my head that was
No,
part of that whole thing.
this is kind of like a haunted house that you're kind of exploring and going through and
Got it.
finding ghosts and
it's been a
demonic
long
things.
time
And
since I pulled that one out.
Yeah.
It was a good one though. All right, the next game. Guess what? It's got little boxes inside that you open up.
I've got an idea what this is.
So I like this game. So it's getting a lot of traction right now. I think it's a little bit overhyped, but I like it. So I'm not going to say it's a 9 out of 10 or anything like that, but it is definitely on the hotness right now. And that's Mindy MGMT. The art designer commented on my unboxing, which was kind of cool. But I like the art. I like the hidden movement mechanic. I like that this can be over fairly quickly. You know, it's a 30 to 45 minute game. I've also had a game where it lasted like an hour and 45 minutes because my game group is analysis paralysis prone. I don't know where to move the guy and how that happens. So, but that does happen, right? But it's fun. I've sat down here and lost this game in 30 minutes. I've won, but you get bonuses, you get powers when you lose. And so there's like a legacy kind of point where everybody's escalating the powers. So that's what I like about it. I want to get through this, you know, even if I'm forcing it on a few extra people, because I like that. Now, I'm not big into legacy games, although you'll probably go like, yes, you are, because I've seen the lists that you have. But it's fun to see that little extra surprise, you know, and that little extra thing. This still has to be, you have to watch your game group, because I know it's really hot right now, but people have to like a hidden movement mechanic. If you don't, or if you've never played one, this could be a good intro for that, because it's not as long as like Whitehall Chapel or what's
Letters
that?
from
Letters from Whitechapel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it.
It's a good game. It did not make my top 10. It did make my top 40. I am bad at it. Brad and I sat down and played several times. It was just two of us, and I could not find you any of the times that we played, which meant I opened up a lot of boxes because I lost a lot. Yeah. But it was fun. It was fun. Just
and then
I'm terrible at it.
And then I played Hayden, and he beat me in like 30 minutes. It was like, gee whiz.
Good for him.
I'm just pointing out, maybe you're bad at board games too.
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not, but maybe I am. Let's see. We're on number 8, aren't we?
Probably should leave this on the table.
Yeah, might as well. I'm going to have a nice little stack going. My number 8, I think you own this one as well. I think we've had this conversation. And I don't know if this is going to be on a lot of people's top 10. It's my favorite iteration of this style board game. Okay. I consider it almost a filler game. It does take a little bit of time to play, but it is mad fun anytime that I've played it, as long as you're not going in thinking the heaviest board game ever. And that is Forbidden Island.
Oh, yeah.
I've played some of the other Forbiddens. I'm not as big of a fan of them, but this one, for some reason, it's just fun. It's kind of stressful. It gets that good mechanic of, you know, the game board is playing against you in a very good way, and it's causing waters to rise and the island to sink away, and you've got to get your treasures out. And I have played this with gamers, and I have introduced it to people who have never played any kind of designer board game or modern tabletop board game, and everybody has enjoyed it. So I think that's one reason I keep bringing it. Yeah. And it's just that, you know, you have the end of a night. I think it says 30 minutes. Yeah, I was gonna say 25, 30 minutes at most. You have an end of night. You don't want to pull out a bigger game. This has been a really fun one to kind of bring out. So Forbidden Island, check it out. It's a fun game. Good co-op.
That's cool. So my next one, and my number 7. We're down to number 7 already. So this is I like this better than Zombicide, and why I don't own Zombicide yet. This is Village Attacks. So this is out of print. You can't get it anymore. I apologize for that. But I like this game. I like this at 1. But it's a great co-op game. You are the bad guys. You're in a dungeon. You're trying to keep all of the villagers and the heroes that come in with the villagers from getting to the heart of the dungeon and destroying it. So it's fun. You get 1 to 4 players. It escalates. You go through and you can have traps as you get further into the scenarios and such. I really like it. I don't know what to say. To me, this is better than Zombicide, and I don't know why. Probably because I played at a lower player count. And when I played Zombicide, it's been like 6, and then you're kind of waiting for your turn to get back. So my experiences with Zombicide have been like, that looks really cool. there was anything for me to do when it came back to my turn. So take that with a grain of salt. I like the mechanic. I like the fun of it, and that is my number 7.
Yeah,
number 7.
I need to play this one.
We definitely do. I think the interesting thing about the games that you're seeing, we haven't played a lot of them together. Some we definitely have, but there's a lot of these that we've played before we met each other, or within our own groups and families and such.
Well, and we both have quite a collection of board games.
Yeah.
So now we've gained some board games since we've been friends, and especially since we've been doing the channel and stuff. But we both have come into this with pretty good board game collections, and so we're never gonna sit down and have them all played right away.
Yep.
My next number 7 is going to surprise you greatly because it's a game you do not like, and you're probably never gonna play it with me.
Monopoly?
Probably never.
Oh God.
Expectro Patronum.
No.
So when Brad said at the beginning, this is probably not our top 10 of all times game.
Right.
This right now is kind of my top 10 of what I'm playing now, or games that could be on my top 10 of all time. And this is a game that I have actually recently been introduced to, but I have got to the point where I've been playing pretty much all of it. I enjoy this. It is not an overly difficult game, but it does unfold as you go through the years.
I gave it to him to get it out of my house.
He did. He was like, I don't want it anymore. Take it, please. And I willingly did, and immediately, like the next day, played it with my gaming group. And we thoroughly enjoyed it.
You play games without me?
I do. Yeah, welcome.
That really hurts. That hurts right here.
I'm sorry, friend. You want to play a game?
I don't know what we're going to do.
You want to play Hogwarts?
Oh, no. You go ahead.
So, Hogwarts Battle, Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, it is, it's a game that actually I've seen quite a bit of talk about, but I had never played it until recently. Played it with another gaming group, fell in love with it. Brad was like, I hate that game. Here, have it. Take it. Get it away from me. Took it home, and like I said, I think the next day we ended up playing it. So it's a fun little game. If you're big into Harry Potter, I am a nerd all the way through. And then also the deck builder mentality. Yeah, it's a good one to get into. So that is Harry Potter Hogwarts
And Battle. I can't tell you, like, I've read the books, I've watched all the movies, and it just fell flat for me. I can't explain it, but it really just did.
It could be that I'm rereading the books right now, so maybe I'm kind of into it again, in that, but
I'm glad it works.
It's a pretty good little deck builder, so I'm kind of surprised
guarantee there's a bunch of people out there that like it too.
Probably, which means you're good at board games. So you have good taste.
Team Brad, just comment down below.
Toph.
Team Brad.
Team Toph. So speaking of that, what's your number 6?
Number 6. So this is a game that is co-op. It is in your universe that you love, and it's a game I actually like playing solo.
Okay.
So,
I'm trying to think what that universe is.
Arkham Horror, the card game.
Yes.
So I like this game. This is a co-op game, and you can play this by yourself. If you're looking for a solo game, I do recommend this. So we can probably get to top 10 solo games as well, but YouTube is my top 10 solo game now. So I like this game. You kind of have to, with Cthulhu, once you get into the reality, or once you get into board games where you don't have to win and it's okay if you die, because there's those steps of board gaming, right? Well, it's just points, and you go from Sorry and Monopoly and Blockus, and then you get into Catan, and then you go to Carcassonne, and you're not dying, right? You're not. When you get into these games, it's like you just died.
Death will come
again and again, and you did it again, and you still lost, and you're still trying to redo the same scenario, just praying to get past that one freaking bag, and you pull that thing out. So once you start enjoying that, this is the game for you.
This is a good one. I did not put it on my top 10. You may see other Cthulhu games on my top 10. This plays so much faster than most of my other Cthulhu-based games. Yeah, that's a good game. That's a very good game.
I like it. And they just reprinted it, and so you can get a nice little starter box and go to town.
We're on 6, right?
Yes, that was my number 6.
Awesome. So I've got another Go Figure horror game, but it's not in Cthulhu mythos either. And this is a fun little one that actually has a pretty good game to it. And it is Horrified. So Universal Studios fights their monsters in a co-op game kind of does have a bit of a fear factor to it, especially when you're playing with a lot of monsters and they're coming to kill you and the villagers. My friends had gotten this in the beginning and we sat down to play it, and I didn't think it was going to be very good because I thought, some of these IP games that come out, they're just theme. There's not much to them game wise. We sat down and played this thing, and it was immediately like, this is becoming one of our favorite games within our friend group. So Horrified, that is my number 6. You can pick it up just about anywhere, and they did come out with a new version of it. So if you're into more of the American monsters, which it's the same game, it's just skinned. I grew up in West Virginia, and the Mothman is actually in the American Monsters version, so I've thought about picking it up just for Mothman, which would be awesome. But for now, it's the OG Horrified.
Cool game.
Yes.
All right, my number 5. I'm the only one that seems to like this game. Although Liege likes this. He's another YouTuber, and that is The Loop.
Oh, it's not that I don't like this game.
However, I like this game. I think it's fun. I like games that make me laugh. The cards make me laugh. I've said it before. If you watch the Loki series, this reminds me of a comic book version of that Loki series where he's trying to save the timeline, so to speak, and go up against Kang at the end and all that. Spoiler, but it's a fun game. I like it, and I liked this more than Pandemic. When I played the base Pandemic game, it's just fun. I enjoy it, and I make people play it with me.
I want to play it on a little bit more difficult of a level.
Yeah, and
because we've been playing kind of that.
We've done the 1 or 2 level 2, but we've never done like some of the harder ones. But
yeah. I think that would make it a little bit more. It's funny, like I didn't expect that when we first played it. Like, we laughed just reading the cards. I mean, it's ridiculous. It has a pretty good game to it. It's not just the design. That's another one's got a good game to it. So yeah, it's not that I didn't like it.
No,
I would like to.
But every people I brought it out to, kind of like, there's something like, but I enjoy it. So this is my list.
And that's right. You're welcome to do it. So speaking of a game that you didn't like, but you like that one, it's kind of funny. This is the same level, but we're going with Pandemic as my number 5. This is Pandemic, the base game, but it's with the On the Brink expansion, which I think is kind of an important part of it. I will play base Pandemic all the time. Like, that's not an issue, but this expansion does add a little bit to it. I love Pandemic. It is one of my absolute favorite games of all times, and even playing the more difficult games and games that make me just sit down and either want to bang my head against a wall or feel like I'm getting kicked in the guts, whatever it might be, this game is one I will always go back to. It's not overly complex, but at the same time, it has quite enough of that in there. You can play a challenging version of it. It's good for beginners. It's a gateway game. It's good for everybody. I love Pandemic and the stress that brings.
And I like it. I do. I mean, and we'll get to some other games, but I mean, it's a good game. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I'm a fan. This will always be in my collection.
Yeah, you have several of them.
I do. Yeah, so I do. I really like Pandemic.
And that's your number 5, right?
That was my number 5. Yes.
Cool. So we're trying to get through this a little faster, so you don't have to watch an hour of top 10s, but hopefully you appreciate that and our pace.
We'll see where we go.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're only halfway through our list.
We could spend the extra 5 hours just sitting here going like, hey, how are you?
Or we could just play a game of Arkham Horror.
Yeah, how would you like that?
10
We'll just sit
hours.
here and be like, you could be really bored and click off fast. All right, my number 4 is can be played co-op or can be played hidden trader. So I guess both ways are still a co-op game.
Still co-op.
However, I really like the multiple hidden trader part of it better because I've played both.
You?
Now, and is just fun. So this was on my top 10 list. So
yes,
Nemesis. I like this game. This is Alien in a Box. We just played this. You weren't able to make it, and I feel sorry for Eric, but Eric pulled the queen the very first turn, and then his card got flipped over and he got tailed, which is an immediate kill. So we let that one slide, but then but he was already severely wounded and everything. This is a fun game. You got fire popping out and you got aliens coming out, and it was fun as a co-op game. It's more fun when you have people trying to close doors on each other because you got to kill character number 2 before you get off the ship.
It's not surprising at all that you like the traitor mentality.
But this is fun. I like Nemesis, and yeah, it's got player elimination in it, so that's one thing to be aware of. And it's a couple hour commitment.
Yeah.
But it is, if you like the Alien movies, said it before, I'll say it again, get this game.
I'm looking forward to playing that one as well.
Yeah.
I'll be at the next gaming group when we have it. So, okay, here we go. On to my number 4. Oh, this is a good one. This is actually one I've only really played solo. However, it is a co-op game.
Okay.
And I am looking to restart playing it with other people.
Okay.
So I did include on this list, even though I've only so far played it solo. That's why it's here. And it is
Yeah.
Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion.
It's in the top 5, right?
It
Of all
is
time?
in the top, I believe it's in the top 5
Yeah.
on BGG's list right now. I know it's in the top 10. I believe it's in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just great. The setup of this is so fast. So for me, when I play solo games, to be able to, usually the box lid's not even on the game box, to open up a couple baggies and then flip open a book, and I am immediately into Gloomhaven. And it's just, it plays pretty quick. It's got varying difficulties to it, the challenges, depending on how you want to play, who you're playing, what route you want to take. It's well balanced. It's a good game all the way around. So I am looking forward to playing this with other people. And
Yeah, we're definitely going to get that one to the
officially
table.
co-op.
So
Yeah. Hopefully pretty soon.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good game. So,
I love it.
That's your number 4, right?
that is my number 4.
Interestingly enough. So, no,
Oh.
it's not that one.
Okay. Is it Big Brother?
This is the heaviest game I have in my collection.
Oh, just
I'm
break the
bad at
studio.
smashing my fingers, too. Oh, that hurts.
I'm
It
sorry.
is the heaviest board
It's
game I have.
So sad.
It's
I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
My heart breaks.
Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven by, Brad.
Welcome to the dollar store version of Gloomhaven. Who wants to play Gloomhaven?
So, this is a great game. The only downside to Gloomhaven is getting it to the table and leaving it out or whatever. Like, I did leave this out for months and got through, I'm not sure how much of it anymore. But
I think you got through a handful of the scenarios.
yeah. I mean, we've got, I don't know, 15 of them done, which still isn't a lot compared to there's 60 some. But this is Dungeons and Dragons in a box. Dungeons and Dragons, if you have a group, is better, but this allows you to, play Dungeons and Dragons. And that's a lot of the problems. Everybody's, wanted that experience, and there's all these games trying to give you that experience, but they never really were able to get you there. When this came out, in my opinion, this pulled it off. So that's why it's so popular. That's why it's number 1. It's a co-op game. And guess what? It's got a bunch of little boxes in it that you keep getting to open as you play the game. Go figure.
Oh, sucker! That joke's never gonna get old.
So,
I wanted to get into the base Gloom, to the Big Brother, to real Gloomhaven. But when I heard, for one, there's a cost jumping into it.
yeah, it's way more expensive.
And I mean, this is before I met you. I didn't really know if my other gaming group wanted to get into it. And so for me, thinking a solo game, do I want to invest in all of that
Right.
for a solo game? Because for me, solo gaming is I come home late from work, I eat something real quick, and then I pull a game out just because it's like, I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to get caught up in a book. Let me do something quickly. And I'm not going to take an hour to set up,
Yep.
So that's why I went with Little Brother, which I'm glad I did, because that took away the fear of jumping into something like
Well,
that.
it's easier to learn. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the rule set in that versus this.
Yeah, it builds the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely walks you through the mechanic a lot. But yeah, so that's my number, what did I say? 3?
That was number
My
3.
number 3.
That's a good one. I support that one.
Yeah. It's a good game. It's just hard to table.
Yeah.
Sits there and calls me a loser every time. Like, why haven't you paid me? Loser.
Just need a separate table that's always set up with Gloomhaven, and then just invite me over.
I did.
And
So the table downstairs, that's why I bought that table.
That's why
It
the
was
table
for this game.
And yet all this time that I've known you, it's never been set up on that table.
No,
so.
there's painting on the table all the time.
That's true, and I'm not complaining about that because it's my game that's getting painted right now. So, my number 3 is one of my absolute favorite games of all times. We're actually getting into kind of the top 3
10
of
stuff.
my top games of all times. This game will forever hold a special place in my heart and my other gaming group's heart. I freaking love Arkham Horror. I know that they came out with a 3rd edition and it's supposedly taking away a lot of the fiddliness of this game and a lot of the time component of this game. I have Eldritch Horror. Great game as well. Cuts down some of the time. I don't care about any of that. I love this game. Again, it plays well solo. I have played it solo. I don't normally sit for 10 hours and play it solo, but over the course of a weekend, I'll play it for a while. But sitting down and saying, we've got a game day, let's play, and then we just battle sanity and monsters and just death all day long. It's glorious. So games could be over quickly, and by quickly I mean games could be over in about 3 hours, or
Great.
yeah, or after 10 hours you can get kicked out of your friend's house saying just get done with it. Yeah, we're not going to finish the game. So Arkham Horror, I think Sierra, if you're watching this, you would agree with this. We adore this game. God, I love this game. I want to pull it out. I haven't played it for a while, and it's like I'm itching to play this game. But, and Brad, I don't know if you have it in you to sit down for 6 to 8 hours to play the gloriousness of 2nd edition.
One of these
Arkham
days,
Horror.
I will commit to doing that.
Oh, I will force you to at some point to sit down and play it.
So we will definitely make that happen. Your birthday.
Okay, there we go.
So your birthday, we will sit and play Arkham Horror. We're gonna play Twilight Imperium for my birthday.
Let's talk about a game that's on my top 10 games I suck at.
You came in second. I came in second, and he's sitting there complaining like, I didn't win.
Oh, I don't care about winning or not.
Really?
Oh, I don't.
I have a Great Western Trail video that says different.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Click here, right here, up here, and watch this 5-minute video when he lost. It's funny.
It happens often, but it doesn't happen often with him. So. Such an ass. But it's so true. I don't win games all the time, but I do with you. So maybe I am. That's what friends are for, right?
Yeah, we gave each other shit.
I'm really not a sore loser.
No, I know you're not.
But it was fun to be a dick when you were taking that video, because you did straight. God, so close. So close. It was fun.
Wasn't that close.
Shut up. What's your number 2? I want to hear what your number 2. They want to hear what your number 2 is.
Yeah, I think you like. Comment down below if you like me giving him shit. Please help me on my Team Brad. Team
Toph. Look at what I have to put up with.
Just type in the TB. Will be
Thank
fine.
God
no,
that I'm used to. Yeah, not that. No.
Team Brad.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
Okay.
We're just gonna move on.
Anyway, my number 2, you own.
Okay.
And this is another new one. And this surprised me. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it what I think it is?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Pandemic Legacy.
I have that game.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Season 1. It has little boxes that you open.
It does. That's the only reason why you like it. Notice he didn't like base game Pandemic, but
I like little boxes that you open in the game. I don't know why, but evidently he likes worker placement. I tend to like, give me a little treat. I instantly seem to like the box. So,
ooh, sucker.
We played 3 scenarios and just racked them out. Actually, after this video, I want to play this again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to play
this. This is fun. This to me gives me a reason to play Pandemic versus some games I just want to get in and get out. There's no doubt. To me, this being kind of an entry level but not game, right? It's a medium weight game.
Yeah.
But to me, and I like heavier weight game. I like all kinds of games, but this takes it to a medium heavyweight game because of the conditions it puts on you.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've really ramped up my interest, and I just like my brain just starts to be like, oh yeah, like you've put these conditions on me, and now I got to try to figure out how we're going to do this, and it's been fun. I for the pandemic haters out there, I could recommend this because I'm probably closer to your side than like he loves it, right? And I'll play it, but I didn't love Pandemic. I really like this game.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I am honestly shocked about. I was saying, like, well, let's play another game. I was telling him, let's play another game.
And it was immediate. I mean, it was like we finished it and it was like, okay, here we go. We're playing the next one. I'm going to talk about this game if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's my number 2 as well. So I already mentioned my love of Pandemic, and you mentioned my love of Pandemic. This is Pandemic, and it's not Pandemic at the same time. Like this is exactly what I wanted base game Pandemic to be. Base game Pandemic is an amazing game. Yes, every time you play it, it's about the same. You know, the odds is going to change up when things happen. If you've never played it, you've got epidemics that come out that just make the game itself intensify and make the game board play against you even worse. That's predictable. We know that that's going to happen. That's not predictable with this game, because with this game, shit happens all over the place and you don't know what it is. And what I feared in playing this for a long period of time is that you have to destroy parts of this game. It's a legacy game. It's not a campaign. It's a legacy game, which means you are affecting the next gameplay with whatever decisions you're making. And I wanted to cry the first time I had to tear up a card.
I did enjoy watching him almost cry.
I did, in that, like, I was trying to hold it back and trying to be funny with, like, my face, because he had a camera pulled out at the time. But deep down, I was just like, God, I don't want to tear this up. Oh, it's so much fun. And we're not finished with the entire, you know, it's a year-long game, so you're playing over 12 games.
We'll have it done this weekend.
Probably. The stress level of this game is Pandemic intensified.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
good.
great.
It's a watch the angle. Sorry, you'll get the glare.
Sorry.
I've done it a couple times. We're learning, but yeah, I like it. Like I said, for the Pandemic haters out there, I don't know what this costs, but if you have somebody that likes Pandemic and is looking for somebody to play the game, try it, because you don't have to be in the entire campaign. You know, there is you can come in and play a game and then leave and still be part of this. So that's nice for the people that just kind of want, hey, yeah, I want to play it, and then somebody wants to play the legacy game. It's not screwing up the storyline by having a third person or a fourth person during your game. And if you lose, that person just plays it again, you know, with another person another time. So it's kind of the best of both worlds in that instance.
It is. Now, I would say if you've never played Pandemic, don't start with this.
Right.
In fact, the rules even say, if you've never really played it, they do allow you to play the game because it is base Pandemic. They just say don't open up the legacy deck, which is where things are going to start happening, and don't open any of the other components. Don't look at anything else. Get a feel for the base game. Play through that. The one thing with legacy games, if you're not familiar with this, most of the legacy games, there's some exceptions. Betrayal is one of them. You can't play this after you finish. So you play the first game. If you fail, you're only allowed to replay it once. And if you fail again, well, you're screwed. You got to go on to the next campaign no matter what. It's got 12 of them in that. Once that's done, it's done. You can't continue playing the game after that. So this costs a little bit more. I think it's about $70, whereas base Pandemic you could probably get from Target for $35, $40, somewhere around that. Check your friendly local gaming store. People oftentimes will be selling them used. You can get it for a lot cheaper and have a lot longer gameplay. But if you're looking for the experience, like for me, I don't go out and watch movies. I read books and I buy and play board games. So that's where, if I'm going to spend, $15 on a night out watching a movie, I'd rather put that into this. And in that case, this comes out to be a cheaper bet because you can play this game over 5 years if you want to. It's just you're playing 12 months of gaming in this box. So if it's on 2 weekends, it is. So I don't know. I think it's worth it. I think the cost is definitely worth it if you're looking for the experience of chaos.
It was fun. It's a prove me wrong game. This one proved me wrong.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, my number one.
You're number one.
All right. So you've already mentioned it. They may not realize it. So I'm painting it.
Oh yes.
Are you ready?
Should we mention our number ones at the same time?
That would be cool. What's your number one?
You ready?
Yeah.
Drum roll.
What is it?
Cthulhu Death May Die.
Well, damn, that's mine.
I know. If you're painting it, that's the one that you're painting, so I know exactly what it is.
All right. So.
You're going to go with Big Boy first.
Oh, yeah. Show it off.
God, these things look amazing. Y'all are jealous of this. There's a reason that we're friends. It's so I can get him to paint this game. Not really, but.
All right, let's see. We'll put some. Yeah, these are, granted, I'll say these are like a B level paint job. These aren't like A level paint jobs, but.
This is so much better than I could ever.
Those of you who paint, don't judge me too harshly, but.
These are better than I could ever imagine a game that I own would have.
Well,
miniatures.
They're amazing. You like them. So, the heroes are not as complete, but we're getting there. I don't know if you can see these.
So this game, if you have not played or heard of Cthulhu Death May Die, it is a cooperative game where you are exploring a scenario. There's a scene that you are going through, and your scene has a bad guy. And that is going to be Hastur, it's going to be Cthulhu, it's going to be Yog-Sothoth, or whoever it might be, and their minions, and then the other bad guys, the cultists, or the others that are going to be doing a ritual. The idea of the game is, well, go insane. You need to go insane. You're going to go insane, but ultimately hit the bad guys and hit them again while they're down and do to them what Barrage did to us.
You know what this game has in it?
Miniatures, fighting.
It has little boxes that you open up.
I should have guessed. It does have little boxes that you can open up.
So this is on our top 10 as well. I think this was like my number 2 and your number 5. Yeah, so we do love this game. And we've even put up a 2-hour of us playing and losing at this game. But this is another one where you have to get used to dying. Yes. And, and we've played it, and we typically just play it with one character. I mean, I think
we each play it with one.
Yeah,
yes.
And then I think we had a third one that we kind of both did one time. I don't know if we did or not. It was just 2 of us. Yeah.
But we've played it with Aura.
Yeah,
so we've played it with more than just the 2 of us.
Yeah, so you could play 2 characters and 2 characters. It all works out, right? But I don't know. You like I said, there's that ladder of board game you get into, and if you watch Top 10, I played this at Gen Con. It's probably coming up on 3 years ago, coming this summer, and I didn't like it because I died. And it was when you're not ready for those games, this isn't going to be for you. Pick up the dice rolling Cthulhu game where you sit there and you die. And like once you are okay with that and you realize that this mechanic and this is kind of fun, we sit there and like yelling at each other and do this, that, whatever. And it's not necessarily an alpha gamer thing either. It was just like we were all like so excited about like, oh, we got to do and win and try, and then you lose at like the end.
Yes.
Which is, I think, is what makes.
Yeah.
For me.
So compared to like Arkham Horror, so we're talking the same universe. This game is a slow burn. This is a game where, monsters are going to come out and they're going to be attacking you the whole game, but it's a monster that spawns. So it's one. And that happens after everybody's turn, and sometimes it doesn't happen because maybe a gate's there and it's getting sucked into this other world. There's that. This game, Cthulhu Death May Die, takes a game that you're probably going to lose, and it just says, welcome to death and destruction. Here's everything we have. Let us just come spawn right on top of your face and just destroy you. And then like things happen, like you set a room on fire and then you're on fire, having to run from one room to the next, taking damage the whole time you're doing it. Or they come and they deal all this sanity loss to you, which helps you become stronger, but at the same time you're going insane. And you feel like you're insane because you're like, let's take all these giant monsters that are sitting in one space and let's take my one little person who's got a dagger and I'm going to run into all of it. Because what sane person would do that to battle all of that? But you have to.
Yeah.
Like, that's the game. You are going to die.
What I realized, there's definitely a mechanic that I like. So in a lot of these games, Gloomhaven, not Nemesis so much. but Arkham card game Mind Management, you also get more powerful. So I do like Dungeons and Dragons. I like that, like World of Warcraft and all. Like as you're leveling up, you're getting more armor. And like it just came to my head. It's like a lot of these games have that mechanic. And this game really shines with it. You get more and more powerful as you get closer and closer to being insane and dying. Yeah. And it's cool. You start wiping things out left and right, but the monsters are just, there's 3 or 4 times that you have to defeat the big bosses to like finish them. So, but
they get more powerful as they die and respawn, and it's leveling up. They did leveling up in this game so much better than some of these other ones. Like Arkham has traits, and you can alter those traits, and as you take some up, others go down. So it's a give and a take with them. With this, you just have one commodity to lose, and that's your sanity. You also have health damage, and health damage is going to kill you, but your sanity, you can never heal that. You go insane, and then all of a sudden you become more powerful, which is why I think one of your favorite characters to play, Rasputin, has flames coming out of his hand, because I can just imagine him being like, I'm insane, and just running into a room with monsters and throwing fire all over the place. They have done leveling up very well.
Yeah, it's very well. I thought I would like this, and then I didn't, and then I knew he liked Cthulhu, so like when we got into this, it's the group you play with. If you like the same games we do, that is awesome, and we're trying to attract you to be like, I like the same games they do. If they have a recommendation about a game, maybe it's something I would want to play. I'm not trying to sell you a game. That is not. I will always have my opinions about stuff, but
games.
I have no idea where I was going with that.
I don't either.
Yeah,
so
I'm really
try to wrap it
back.
We have tried some really new games, some things that I thought I would hate mechanic wise, because they are games that typically I hate mechanic wise, and it turns out I've loved them. Now I do think that you and I, other than you like more take that style games than I do.
Yes, yeah.
But we do have relatively similar tastes. Obviously, we had some overlaps in some of our games here. Overlapping taste.
Any Euro game.
Yeah. I'm a Euro gamer. Worker placement Euro gamer. He's a shiny box gamer. So, hi, friend. Sucker. Anyways, with that, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching this video, letting us talk a little bit and play with miniatures on camera, because that's fun. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave some comments. Did you like any of these? Obviously my games are better, so Team Toph, go ahead and put that down below if you enjoyed them more. If you enjoyed his board games more, he's got great games in his collection. Go ahead and say Team Brad, or if you just feel bad because he loses all the time, go ahead and put Team Brad down there. We'll let him have this win. Comment, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed.
I don't have much to say. I was blathering on, and then now I'm just like,
Yeah. So with that, hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Bring some of these games to your table and have a good time.
Have a good night.